Hello crafty friends out there, welcome back to a new video, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a really special and exciting project here on my desk because I would like to try to turn this very old Bible here into a mini junk journal. So as you can see on my hand, it's really small. So yeah, that will be a really big challenge, I think. So it's 10 centimeters. Yes, 10 centimeters by 7 centimeters. It's not something like I would do normally, but yeah, I wanted this challenge because I got this really cool thing here with yeah, something that I bought on a marketplace. Perhaps you saw the video before where I opened this box that I got by accident from my neighbor, and in this box there was this Bible with different other books. And yeah, as you can see, it is destroyed here on the spine, so the pages yeah, are going to fall apart. And yeah, normally it would not be such a problem to make a junk journal. I could cut the pages out and then put new pages in. The only thing I have to have in mind that they are really small and yeah, that stuff. But I would like to have this first pages here. So I don't want to cut this page. And yeah, that's a really big problem. I've thought about that really long and some nights. Yeah, because this black thing that you can see here is a really strong, something like a fabric tape. And this page is really secure here, and yeah, it could stay there. And also on the back side, it is here, and when you see this beautiful pattern, I guess you can imagine why I would like to leave this here. So I came to the following idea, and I would like to try to explain this to you and yeah, make this journal together with you. I came to the idea to carefully tear this out here so that this stays there and this stays here, and then I try to put the first signature into here, then the next signatures as I would do with a normal journal here with a hidden spine, and the last signature I would like to try to add here. I don't know if that will work, I have no idea, but yeah, I thought, let me turn on the camera and try it. So when it works, then I think we have a really cool tutorial that I personally never have seen before. So I think that doesn't exist on YouTube. I searched very long for something to leave this here, but yeah, I couldn't find anything. So yeah, perhaps it's new. For the new pages, I made something that I never did before too, because I printed some of my digital printable pages on a very small size. So this is the kit Where Have All the Flowers Gone? Normally you will find this in my shop in a full size size. You know what I mean. This is DIN A5, and I printed 2 of these double pages on one DIN A5 sheet. So normally you would get this on a bigger page. Of course you can print it as small as I printed it here too, but normally this is a normal normal sized page. And on the back side I printed one of my backgrounds from the kit Urban Mirror, so I wanted it something like stone and something broken, so this background I thought would fit very well. And yeah, I know when I now cut these pages here and I will put them into there, they will be a little bit too big. So yeah, when I cut it out, the pages here from the book, I will see how much I have to cut here. Hopefully that fits. I think that's a big problem with those small books too, because yeah, where to find such small pages that you can print, that's not so easy to find. So this page here came out very well. Oh, okay, so I think we need some tape. I tear them out because I'm afraid when I cut here that I cut into this, can you see that, into this black fabric tape. So when I lose this page, I have to live with it. I can tape that with a clear tape, or I can scan it or something like that, but I have to live with that because I don't want to cut here. And the problem is I can't see the stitching here, and yeah, that's really, really strange. So here's something like a bookbinding thread. So let's cut this. Perhaps we can get the rest out. And hopefully the people wouldn't laugh about me now, because as I said, I never did that before. Perhaps you do that every day and then it's a normal process, but yeah. They can't see anything here because the light is so bad. That are problems that normal people wouldn't have. Okay, I think we are really near to that what I want to have. Don't know what to do with this fuzzy frame here, but this page stayed here. Yoo-hoo! And now let's try to take out these pages here. Oh my gosh, that is so small. I think it's really strange. And another interesting thing that I found out with my other small mini Bibles is this incredible stitching here. When you look at that, that's really, really incredible, because the signatures are so close together. And sometimes here's no glue, so here was glue, but in some Bibles there's no glue and nothing falls apart, even if this is very old. This one here is, I've read it here, where is it? I had the year here somewhere, but now I've lost it. Ah, there it is, 1897. And if you imagine how old this is, it's really incredible that this stays together. And I think, yeah, really, really strange, because the people here in Austria, they use their Bibles very often, because they are very, yeah, people that go to the church very often. I'm so sorry, something went wrong with the focus of my camera. Don't know why. I just teared out the rest of the pages and then I went on. Oh my gosh, I just recognized that my focus was not on this thing here when I... Today is a day where I could cry. So everything is going wrong. My scanner is broken. My printer, it's the same thing as my scanner, of course. He didn't want to print me those things. Then my heater in my caravan is broken, and all that stuff really makes me crazy. Sorry about that. So hopefully you could see anything. Sorry, don't know what happened here. The problem is when I focus on this Bible here with my eyes and my concentration, then I can't look through my camera. So I have to fix this problem for the future. So I'm very sorry. Okay, so the problem is when I take this off, because that's not possible to put something over it, I think, because I think that would look really strange, because it's not all the same here. As you can see, that's really, really strange. So that's what's here behind. I think that's a black tape like this in on the outside here, what I showed you before, but it's going in the middle here, and on the left and the right side, when I look into here, there's nothing. And that's not good, because when I would tear this off, then I can make a stripe of cardboard or something like that, but when I would glue it, it would stick to the spine here. And I don't want that. When I have the signatures in, I want this little space here, because I want to make sure when I lay my journal flat on the table that it opens flat. And I think when I glue this to the spine, then that wouldn't be possible. First, I thought the easiest way would be to make a visible spine, so to sew the signatures through the spine so that you can see the bookbinding thread here. But then I thought this spine is so beautiful that I don't want to destroy it with those lines here. And as you can see, it has this little things here. I don't know how to call this in German or in English. When you know how this is called, please let me know and leave a comment below. But you know, this is a little bit higher and that looks really cool, but this is in the horizontal direction. And when I would sew through the spine, then I have this vertical threads here, and I think that looks really strange, especially with this cross on the front. I would have many crosses here, and my emotion says that I can't do that. So I have to think about something else. I prepared this little thing here, and I just think about, that's a good, I think that's a happy accident that this, that this is the right length with this stitching here around. That wouldn't look not so bad. Yeah. I couldn't imagine that this is so incredibly strange. So I'm just thinking if I can get this off here, but to put something of this spine cardboard under it, but that's not possible. Okay, so the first thing we will do is we will renew these pages here. So here is the old thread that we will take out here. That's not possible. Okay, so I think that's glued. So let's leave it here. That looks, yeah, a little bit strange, but it's an original thread of this little Bible here. And then let's take a bookbinding thread. Okay. So I will cut it a little bit longer as I would need it, that I can handle it a little bit easier. Oh, perhaps I could have taken this one here. Yeah, very intelligent, Louise. So this is the rest from another project, and I just realized that I can take this. So this video is a little bit weird, I think, but hopefully it's interesting for you, because this is very new and yeah, exciting for me. Hopefully you agree. Okay, so let's just make a little knot here. and to cut this little thing here. And now I think so. Actually, this was binded by 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. I think. I guess I don't know because I can't see that exactly. But let me just make sure that this is really the middle. Yes, this is the middle, and I think I will do this 3-hole process, and I just eyeball it. Let me just think about it. Out here, in here, yeah. This is a thing I don't do that very often, this 3-hole binding, because I often make hidden spines and then I use 6 holes, and that's a little bit different, and I think then you don't think about the easier way of this 3-hole thing, and it's just a problem to come through this to the middle. Okay, now I have it. Okay, why have I made this knot on the end of the thread? That's, sorry for those people who make this 3-hole thing. You don't have to put a knot on the end of the first thing here. I just forgot that. Sorry. Yeah, but that's not the problem because you can cut it. That looks good. And now I have to, okay, hopefully that's not too thick. So let's just make a knot here. Okay, I made a mistake. I have to go. Yeah, when you don't do that every day with the 3 holes, then you forget what you have to do. First go through this little loop here, because otherwise you can't make a knot. Okay, a 3rd hand would be good now, but because I can't pull it too much, because then I will have a problem, because this hole broke here. Yeah, I think I will repair that with some washi tape or something like that, or go through the signatures later here with some tape or something like that. Don't know until now if that will fall apart or if it will stay here. Sometimes I'm asking myself why I can't do normal things, normal journals like everyone. Why I always have to make such experiments, but yeah. Okay, so let's just cut this off here, and I leave it, I think, a little bit longer so that we have the possibility to do something with it. Perhaps we can attach something here when it's not too thick in the end. And as you can see here, my hole broke. So this thread was actually here, and then when I made the knot, it came to here, because the pages here in between are not so stable, so durable. But I thought about putting washi tape over every page in the middle before I made this. But I think when I then close this, that will not close very flat. So this thread is already such thick that when I feel over this page, it's, yeah, the maximum of thickness that the thread can have when I ask my emotions. So that's, yeah, I have to live with it. But I think when we put a little tape under it here later, I have no tape at hand, so I have to catch that up, then this thread can't go in this direction, and this will be safe. I think that's the solution. Yeah, so let's do that later. And now I think I will put, let me just think about that. When I put the signature in here, then this will go over there, and the other will go over there. That means I have to cut this in the same width as this spine. Okay. So let me just cut this straight, hopefully. And then put that on top here, like this. So I put it a little bit higher so that I can see what I'm doing here. So am I in focus here? Yes. I'm a little bit afraid that this shit from the beginning happens again. And then I press it so that I can see the width of this whole thing. I think we will make it a little bit wider. So that can be a cool effect, because when it's too small, I think that looks weird, because then it could happen that we see this black and this weird things that we have under it later. But when we make it a little bit bigger, and later when I've glued it in here, we pull these fibers out of this thing, then between the signature that will be here, so let me just show you that, what I mean. When the signature is here, then this fabric will be glued there, and when I put the fibers out here, then we have these little things from the rest of the fabric here. So it will look hopefully something like this. Yeah. And if that's not the case, I can cut it later, I think. So I will make it a little bit bigger than the spine is. I think. Oh. Then I have the feet of the reindeer there. Oh. Crucifix. But I think that's enough. Yeah. I don't like that. Sorry, I have to cut that. I don't like that when things don't go that way that I want them. Cut this reindeer off and take this bigger part between this one and the next. Okay, so now I'm satisfied, I think. And I think when I pull these fibers out there, then the rest, so these ones that go in this direction, will be not too much, so that it's not too thick. Okay, so now we have to make the thing for the spine, so that we know how many signatures we need. And that will be, I think, the biggest problem of this whole stuff, because that's really small, and yeah, I think I have to cut it more than one time. So I put that here so that I can see where the journal will close, because when it's too big and then it can't close correctly, and that would be not so nice. So I make it like this, and then, yeah, where can it be? I can't see that here, so I think approximately here. So let's take this cutter, and I'm very happy about this cutting machine. So Jeanette, if you see this video, thank you so much again for this machine. Yeah, it helps a lot. I had a cutting machine that really made me crazy, because it can't cut a right angle, and so a 90-degree angle, and that was so bad, and I really went crazy with this machine. And then Jeanette Wilde from my design team sent a video that she had some things that she wouldn't need anymore, and there was this Fiskars cutting machine, and I'm so happy about it. And she sent it to me with some other things, and I'm so happy because now I can cut this really exactly, and that's such a big help. So not only for the small journal, of course, so for all of the other journals too. Okay, I think that's good. Hopefully you can see that. So I cut this red piece here, and then I press it here like I would do it with a normal journal too, so that I know that this can open and close very easy. So yeah, when you never did that before, and you are perhaps a beginner of junk journaling and you found this video by accident or something like that, then you have to put it in here and you have to close it several times and see if that can work when this is glued in here. But I think that will be very good, because when this is too big, too wide, then you can't close and open the journal as you would like it, and that would be not so good. Okay, so I try to go in the same line with this thing here under it, because I don't want to let this red thing here show out on the bottom of the journal. Because, let me show you that in a second, we have this really beautiful red ending here from this thing that falls apart, and I want to leave that. I want that you can see this in the end, even if this is on top, because when you look here inside, then you can see that even if this is glued, you can see this red, but I don't want to show this red piece of cardstock here. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So now I have to make a little break and think about what to do next. I have a plan. It's unbelievable, but I have a plan. Okay, so the plan is the following. I will do the signatures with this thing here and with this above as I would do it with a normal journal. I will sew in the second, third and so on signature and leave space for the last and the first signature. Then I will put everything in here, and this thing would be glued like this, so that I can put in the last signature here and then glue this down here. I think that will work. And the same thing on the front side. So yeah, hopefully that will work. Now I have to figure out how many signatures I can put into here. And I think that will be the first time that I will eyeball that, because this is so small and I think I can't measure this. So, because I can't measure how thick this will be. And yeah, I have to imagine that here are pages in later, a few, so something like this, with other paper of course. Then it will be like this, I think. So now I can make a little mark here. Here will be the last signature, and the same on the top. So that is nearly on the end of this little thing here, because we have a little space between this, but okay, that's too much. think I can put only a few pages in here. That's really strange. Okay, so let me just make it like this. I think that will be good. The problem is that this red thing isn't glued, so that I have to leave it here in this area where it has to be in the end. Oh my gosh. Okay, so something like this. Yeah, that looks regular and equal, and I don't know this word, what I mean. Okay, so then let's take these loose pages here, put them to this front end paper here, and then make the cover like this, because then when you make it like this, you have much less space than before, and that can be a problem. Perhaps we have to do it like this, yeah, and glue it down like this. Then we have more space for the last signature, and it will be the same thing as on the other side. Hopefully you can see that. So I folded this, so as you can see, when I make it like this, then it's this really crumbly thing here inside, and when I put it like this, then it will be hidden, this thing, and I can put the first signature in here, and that will work, I think. So let me just check if that is possible on the back side too, because I think perhaps then. Okay, so because we left those pages here, it's a little bit different here. So I think my mark that I made here is correct. Yes, that will work, hopefully. This belongs here. Okay, so now I will cut my papers, and then I will check how thick one signature can be, because I don't know that until now, because the original pages of this Bible were very thin, and of course this copy paper is much thicker, and I don't know how many pages can I put in here. So yeah, I will speed up the video while I'm cutting this. Okay, I'm not sure until now if I have enough papers, but yeah. Normally I know what I do, but now I have no idea, because when you have it like this, in this whole staple of papers, and you put it in here, then it can be another dimension from the spine than when you have put it into your signatures already. So let's try to get some signatures out of this, and let's see how many papers we can put in one. So let me just guess how many it can be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, 5 or 6. Let's try 6 because I would like to have more signatures in here, that this looks really cute and cool from the top here. Yeah. I think that's better because it's so small, and when you have only 2 or 3 signatures, then it will look really weird from the top. So let's try 6. Let me just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And by the way, when I make a bigger journal, then I do it the same. I lay my papers down here to my table. So first I staple them, on top of each other, and I make as many staples I will have signatures. And as you can see, in this stadium, I think about how can it look when the papers are in the signature. I folded the papers from the printable, that you have some where the flowers are outside, so this main theme of the kit is outside, and this background thing from the other kit is inside. So when you take this one here, okay, so I made this wrong, then you have it here the other way around. The flowers are inside and the background is outside. Here the flowers are outside. So the background looks really similar to this other things. So I think here it's right. Yes. So, and when I count these signatures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then it's 1 in this direction, then the next in the other direction, the next in the direction of the first, and so on. And then I can, when I make it like this, I can imagine how this whole thing would look like. So the next thing I will do is I put one of these things here on top. So when you have many different kinds of papers, so that are not so much, because we have this coffee dyed paper, the Bible pages, this white paper, and the printable, that's not so much. But when you have a really huge amount of different papers, then it can be helpful when you make it like this, because then you know the change of the papers during the journal is very regular. I love that. So when you don't love it, don't do it like I do it here. But so it can be a little bit regular. So of course you don't have to do it in this really straight way like I do it here. But okay, so now that is 1 too less. I like to do it because, so especially in this small thing here, I think we need a little bit of an order so that it looks not too irregular and not too strange. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, because I don't have the completely right English words for that. So I have a white of them here too less, so I can also take this one, and I think we'll change it like this. And then let's take some of those printable pages, and I will do it the same way as I did before. When you do it like this, of course you have to leave your order of this staples here that you had before, otherwise that system would make no sense. But I think, we can do that. Okay, so another Okay, so when that happens, I don't care about that my order is not such regular than before, and I take one of the papers that I have from my stash and put it in there. But what I wouldn't do is to take a completely different page. So this is one of the Bible pages that we have in all of the other staples too. I wouldn't take a red page or something like that. So yeah, to make that clear. And now I take these staples here and I think about the order I would like to have them in my signature. So then I can put them together very easily. And mostly this is also the order that I made with my staples here before. So that wouldn't change so much, because when I make the staples, I can see what I'm doing and I can see if that would look nice. Of course, when you have papers in very different sizes and you would put envelopes or little scraps into your signatures, then that wouldn't be so easy, because you have to check if everything is in the right place, in the right order, a little bit more carefully, so that you have that what you want in the end. And perhaps it can be that you have to change the order several times until you are satisfied with your result. When I made the signatures here, put them together, this is the first one, so it was like this, then I put it like this, put the second signature on top, so that I know that this one on the bottom will be the first one that we will sew in. And then I can also see how this will look. So this is the last page of the second signature, and this will be the first one of the next. And then when I lay it to my table like this, I can see very easy what I do and how this will look from one signature to the other. And I think that's, very helpful. So for me to imagine, it is very helpful. So for example, I wouldn't like that here, and I can see it now. And when I put my coffee dyed paper here, then I have solved this problem that this is not next to each other, and that's very easy thing. When I would put the signatures away from me, then I couldn't control that. And another thing I would like to mention is that I don't start with one of the Bible pages, of this original Bible pages for a signature, because I'm afraid when this is on the outside, that's not sturdy enough. So I make sure that I have all my Bible pages inside, somewhere inside of the signature, because that wouldn't be a problem when you put that inside, because the thread and the other pages will hold that in place. Oh, I'm so excited. Don't know what will happen here. Okay, here isn't such a wide page, so let's do it like this. So I don't know why this is everything in the wrong direction. And I don't know if you can imagine that, but when these pages are so small, like this one, this one's here, then you can't see if the flowers are on the right side, in the right direction. So the next thing, what I just recognize is it's not so good to put the Bible page to the middle also. So let's just check that. I check that out of camera if I haven't put a Bible page to the middle, because the thing with the thread would be the same. And when we have this printable in the middle, this is 80-gram copy paper, there wouldn't happen anything. So I will just check that and then I will be back. Okay, I think everything is safe here. So let's just put that in here, even if one of the signatures will come out there. And yeah, I think that's enough. Yes, I think that's enough, because I often do it like this, even if I have a bigger journal. So when you put the pages in, and don't know how to explain that in English, you put your fingers here very soft and you press it, then you can see, okay, that are less pages than I would expect. So when you looked at the Bible before, when the original pages were in here, before I destroyed it, then it was, yeah, something like this, and everything was filled with pages. But those pages here are thicker, and because of coffee dyeing and some facts that the signatures are not so pressed like in the original Bible, the pages become wider, so they are not so close together than in the original book. And when you feel that the book, without doing something, makes like something like this, then you know you have enough pages. You can also put it to your table like this, and then you can watch it from this perspective. So let me just zoom that, and you can see that it is already a little bit, so yeah, I don't know how to show you that, sorry. It's a little bit like this. So can you see that? So the front cover, I can't show you that. I need something that don't moves around. So the front cover is not flat like this, but it's a little bit like this. So I think you know what I mean. And when this happens, I know I have enough pages. So until now, I don't know if I would like to do create some, how is it called, ephemera or some embellishments. I don't know until now, but that I don't I can't lose this chance. I will leave it like this, even if I think it's a little bit less, but yeah, I think I will leave it. And the cool thing is, something of this golden shimmer of this original pages still comes through here, and that's really cool. Okay, so yeah, let me just make a little break of this video. I will be back in a second for you. So I have just to check everything out, if everything is in the right measurements here, if the pages are not 1 millimeter too wide or something like that. But I can't do that in the camera, because otherwise you would see the back of my head instead of this film here. So let me just check that. I have to go a little bit closer with my eyes. I will be back in a second. Okay. Perhaps you sit at your couch at home and you think, okay, Luise, you forgot something really essential. Perhaps you got that during you watched this video. And of course, you are right when you say you forgot to put the first signature into the into this front page, into this end paper. So I added another signature that I can put into here, so that we have this first thing here and the last yeah, from this original pages here. And what a luck that I thought about that before doing it. Yeah, it's not too thick, I think, and now it looks a little bit strange because this thing looks out here and it comes through the first and the second signature, but later it will be glued here and this will be cut off, and then you have only the little fibers that are looking out here. Okay, so the first thing I will do is I will sew the signature, the first one, evening. I'm recording a video. Say hi to my subscribers. Sag das jetzt.
Hi.
Ein bisschen mehr so. Hi. Ja. Ganz nett. Was habe ich jetzt gerade gesagt? Für die deutschen Zuschauer könnte ich jetzt auch an dieser Stelle mal was sagen. Mir fällt nämlich gerade auf, dass ich das schon lange nicht mehr getan habe. Da versuchst du dich zu konzentrieren und dann kommt der Mann da eingesprungen, mitten in dein Video. Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Okay. Also, yeah. My hubby just came home and destroyed this part of my video. Thank you very much. But a few days ago he said we have to record a video together. I don't know what we should do there, but yeah. He said, okay, that would be a nice idea. I don't know if that's true, but yeah. Let's see. But now I have to concentrate to this little pieces here. So normally I would put this into my little tool where I can poke the holes, but in this case that's too small for me, and I would make sure that I'm here on the right position with this line here on top of this end paper and also on the bottom, and when I eyeball it and lay it here, I'm sure that I'm on the right line. So now I will do this 3-hole system like we did with the original pages in the end of this book. So with this part here. How much is it there? I don't know, because this shit is a little bit... Okay, so now I think it's better. That's really tricky. Okay, I press it here to this end paper thing. Then with my thread I eyeball the middle and I go here through it. That's very hard because of this original glue that's there. And when I go back, I take another needle, because I think from the inside to the outside it's very hard to make a hole from here to the inside and get the right place. So I will make a hole here that I can see where my needle is, and especially where the hole is on the other side. The same here. Oh my gosh. And then I can see it from this side and go back in there, hopefully. Like this. Then outside here. And so difficult when this camera is over my head. Normally I would go with my head over this whole thing that I can see it, but I don't want to have my head in the camera frame. Okay, I think I managed it. So is this the... When I turn this around, I'm often not sure if the signature is in the right position here. That looks cool. So let's just make a knot here. That would be not so easy. I have to come closer to this middle thing. I know you can't see that because, yeah, of the angle of this camera, but I try to get it such straight here to the middle of this end paper and the cover, so that I don't have a space here. And as we know from the beginning, it can be a problem when we pull that too much. So concentration, that looks nice. So here we have no space between this signature and the end page. And this thread is a little bit tricky because sometimes you make a knot and then you pull it, and then it makes like, and then it comes together much more. Oh, I'm so nervous. I think that's nearly perfect. Look at this. Ha! I'm a little bit proud now. So let me just make a second knot, because I'm not the friend of this one knot systems, and I want to make sure, especially because this is waxed, that yeah, it goes the right way, and 2 knots with this thread is always a good idea. Okay, so let's cut this down here off, abschneiden. Okay, I think I will stop the video here now and ask my hubby if he needs to eat something, because he just comes from his work. He is working as a musician and he made some après-ski music on a mountain in a little Hütte. How is it called in English? I don't know. Something like a little party. And yeah, I will ask him if he would like to eat something, because I'm blocking the kitchen here at the moment. And then I will be back and we will sew in the rest of the signatures here with this thing under it, of course. And I think I needed a little break too, because that was really exciting. But I think we are on a good way. So until then, I will be back. Welcome back. So in the meantime, overnight, I thought about this whole stuff again, and and I thought when I press it like this, it was a little bit too thin for me. So this whole feeling, perhaps you know that you sometimes can't give a recipe how many pages per signature, how many signatures and such stuff, because everything of this belongs to the measurements of the cover, to the measurements of the spine, and yeah, sometimes your own emotions that you have when you touch it and when you have it in your hand. And I'm a very lucky girl because in the meantime I got a really cool happy mail. So let me just show you one piece of it. So it was a whole bunch of this really cool music paper sheets here. A very dear friend sent them to me. Bernd, falls du das siehst, vielen, vielen, vielen Dank. Das ist mir jetzt gerade ganz gut in den Kram gepasst, weil das ist nämlich richtig geil und ich habe es jetzt direkt hier verwendet, wie du siehst. Also ja, deine Noten sind jetzt hier in dieser kleinen Bibel später drin. Das hier ist auch schon ein bisschen kleiner geworden, wie du siehst. Habe ich schon zerstückelt und hier reingetan. Volle praktisch. Yeah, so this dear friend sent me those music notes here, and also a whole sheet of this thing here. I think this comes from something like chocolate packaging, and it's very thin. And it has this really cool pattern on it. Hopefully you can see that. So I decided, and I did that out of camera, to make some pages from this music paper sheets and also from this white patterned paper here. And to each signature I added one of the music paper sheets and one of these white ones, so that this whole stuff got a little bit thicker. And it's, yeah, also when I lay to the table, it's already flat, so it's not coming out here, so that is okay for me. And I think that looks a little bit more like a book when there are, yeah, more pages in it. I told about you in the beginning of the, I told that in the beginning of the video that I don't like it when there are too less pages in it, because that, yeah, don't looks like a book in my opinion. And then overnight I thought about this thing that I made here. So because now I can see how this will look when it's glued. And even if I would cut that here, I have to find a trick to get this into this edges, even if this goes not to the left side of the first signature, because as you saw, we we left this, I don't know the words for that. We left this paper and the other side of this end paper here. So I think I will find a trick to bring this under the first signature and not doing this thing with these fibers, or perhaps not so extreme, because when you close it, then it looks really weird when this thing is not here until the end. Yeah. Okay, so that are my thoughts about this. And now the first thing I will do is take this whole thing out here, and then let's glue this stripe here to this thing, so that we later on can put it into the spine. And let's sew the signatures onto it. I'm just checking where is right and left, but that looks nearly the same. I think I will try it like this. Then I just picked this little music paper sheet here to protect my table. And then I will take a bookbinding glue. I filled that into this little bottle here to get it to the piece where I want it a little bit more easy. And I use, yeah, not too much, but also I make this glue layer not too thin, because when this is dry, it will get a really sturdy thing. And yeah, when you make it too thin, then it can happen, yeah, that this sturdiness is not so given. That's a little bit tricky because it's a little bit rounded now, but let's do it like this. And I'm not sure until now if I really would leave this red thing here on the top and the bottom, but because I don't know how that will look in the end. But yeah, let's try it to leave it there, because we can cut it when I don't want it there. That would not be the problem. Okay, so now I will let this dry, because on the other side here you can see that the glue is a little bit it comes a little bit through here, but that's no problem because it's a glue that dries transparent, so I think in the camera you can't even see it. Yeah, and then I will be back. Okay, here I'm back. What I did in the meantime was I glued a second of this red stripes here for the spine, because I thought it would be a little bit more sturdy, because yeah, when this was dry, it was not sturdy enough for me. And then I added the lines for the, yeah, for the signatures, so that hopefully everything will be in the right line. And then I just yeah, picked here my text block to get the middle of this whole thing, that I can make a mark, so that I know where the middle is, so that I can get into it with this 3-hole binding technique. Oopsala, that's not so good. And for that I grab this whole stuff and put it here to my measurements. And yeah, how can I manage that? So that's the middle is, sorry, I have this ruler here out of the camera, so I have to go to 15 here. Okay, so I just got some marks here on my signatures where I could reach them, and the rest I do like this, that you can see that. And I will just measure if this is the same like this, so that I'm sure that it is correct. Okay, so that's correct. So I have this here, so that nothing can happen anymore. And now I made this middle line here too, and I will poke the holes that I can see them from this side of the thing, because of course this will be not shown in the end, so because it will be put in here like this later, and that I can see the holes on the side with the fabric. I poke them here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ouch, 6. Yeah, I think that will be possible. I don't want to go through them too much, so that this will stay sturdy, because the holes are very near together. Normally I have 0.5 centimeters between my signatures, and this is I think 3 millimeters. Yeah, hopefully I can see that. And now we have to do this measurement for the other holes. So I take this thing here, make sure that everything is in the same line, and I am orientating here on this middle marks here that I made here, and then I will eyeball this where this second and third hole has to be. Make my marks here and here. And then I take this whole thing and lay it down here next to my red spine thing, and I mark the points where the third and the second hole have to be, and then I eyeball it again, because I think I'm nearly good at eyeballing. Make it like this and like this. And then poke these holes here. I think the next time I will make a one signature DIN A5. Yeah. But what to do on my birthday? So today, when I recorded this video, it's my birthday, and hubby has to play another music gig. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm alone here. And I don't like to bake something for me or make food for me. I don't like that when I'm alone, so yeah. I try to get some other fun stuff to do. Okay, so now let's turn this around and let's make sure that this is the top. And then, yeah, let's try to sew that whole thing in. I'm really nervous now because, yeah, as I said, I never did that before. And that's, I don't know if you can imagine that when you see the video, but that's so small and the so tiny thing. Whew, that's really strange. Okay, so let's take the first string here. Get it to the needle. And then I take this whole thing and I open it up very carefully so that everything stays in place. And now I have to come through here from the outside, of course, because my marks are on the outside. So I place it here very carefully, don't move it, and try to get my holes in here that I know what I have to do. I just check that from the inside. Yeah, that's very exact. And then I go out here and into the middle of the first hole here. And I also check that from the back side if I'm here in the right hole, because they are such near together that it's yeah, that it can happen easily that you come into the wrong hole, and that would be not so good, because then, yeah, you can take everything apart and start from new. I don't know if you can see anything. I have to lay this here down to my table because otherwise I can't handle it. And normally I would use one thread for all the signatures and go with a thread from one signature to the other. But in this case, I think it's much better to use this three hole binding thing, because when you make a mistake, then you can take out the single signatures and sew them in again. So of course, before you have glued this whole thing to your spine, but you can correct it much more easy than when you would make this 6-hole binding where you have one thread for the whole thing. And yeah, because of that, I decided to do it like this. Okay, oh my gosh. Now we have our signatures sewn in here in this text block. And yeah, I left this things here from the binding, from this bookbinder's thread, because I don't know until now if I perhaps would like to add something here. So that's a good idea when you are not sure what to do with it until you have the journal finished and can see the whole thing. Then I like to leave this here. Perhaps it can look nice when it's coming out here as it is. Perhaps we would like to add some beds or something like that. And now I think the trickiest and most difficult part here comes, because I have to glue this in here. And the first thing I would like to have is that the whole thing has this double spine here, or how do you call that? I don't know the correct word for that. So this has to be here on this net that is nearly destroyed, but I don't want the net to be glued on here. I think that will be impossible because I can't put my finger into here, but I try to get the glue to this thing and then press it, close the book, and then I will wait. And perhaps, it will not glue because I have the right amount of glue. And then in the very beginning of this whole thing, I talked to you and thought it can be a good idea to have this fibers here from this, from this backing here of the spine. But now I'm not sure, as I said a few minutes ago, because of this thing here. So I think I will cut that with the thing here, and then I will put it under it here, so I have this, I show you. I think that will be too thick when I... Shall I really do that? Yes, I have no other chance, I think. I think that will be too thick when these fibers come out between those signatures. I couldn't see that before because, everything is so tiny, and my imagination is not enough, and the planning of that, I think, is nearly impossible. Oh yes, but I think that will work. When I glue it in here, then I can put the other things here above, so that I can glue this here down, and this also like this, like it was actually planned, and then this will stay in there very sturdy and nice, I think. Okay, so let me just see if I can see anything here and here where this has to be. Yes. Okay. Right direction of the Bible, right direction of the text block. That's good. Okay, so now let's put some glue on here. And as I said, not too much, but I like to have these threads of the binding to be one with the glue, so that the pages and the signatures will stay in the book forever and that nothing can fall apart. And when you look at the original binding of the book, you will see that this is made nearly the same. So I'm not a bookbinder pro or something like that, but when you destroy books and you see how they are made before you use them for your journals, then you will see that it is exactly made like this. Sometimes there's a little thin layer of some material that I don't know what it is. It looks like paper, but I think it is no paper. It's above this strings from the binding, but I don't know exactly what this is. But I think the process of doing it is nearly the same. Okay, my glue is really dry here. So this bookbinder's glue is a good glue, but it dries very quickly. And then you have the problem to get this in. Okay, let's try it. Hopefully you can't see my head but the book and what I'm doing here, but I have to look very close, otherwise I can't see anything. Sorry. Oh, I have to make sure that I'm in one line here with this little shit. Okay, a little bit to the back. What's going on with the pages here and here? Oh, that looks great. I think we have the same. Yes. Sorry when you can't see anything, but I think I have only one chance to bring that in here. And that would be a very expensive YouTube video when you spend time and then it fails. And also this Bible was bought on a marketplace and I don't want to have it in my trash in the end. So you have to live with my head in the frame sometimes. But I think my subscribers are really lovely people, so I think you will understand that. Okay, so now that closes really, really, really well. And I'm really proud that the signatures are in this regular way. So the left one is the first one that we have between the end papers. Then here are the 6 signatures that I saw in before, and the last one there on the right side with the original Bible pages. And that's, yeah, really cool. And I'm a little bit surprised that this worked so well. So then the next step will be to glue very carefully this front piece here so that it stays here and that the space between the signatures is nearly the same. For that I will put some glue here. Can you see anything? To this very end of this paper, because I found out that I can fold it yeah, a little bit to the spine, and then I can yeah, cover up this space that I have here until now, because yeah, normally we would glue there a fabric or a lace or something like that. But in this case, we can't do that because we left this end papers there. And because of that, we can't glue anything here, because otherwise this here wouldn't be like a normal page, but it would look really strange. Okay, so I just try to get this black thing, I don't know if you can see that now, here to my fabric, so that it can glue here and cover this little space there in between. But I just have to put it in. Patience is not my best friend, because now I have to press that, I think, until it is dry, because otherwise it will lift up again and again, and that would be not so good. So I will go up and down here with my bone folder for a while until the glue is dry, and then I will be back. Okay, so in the meantime, while the glue on the front side was drying, I also glued this original pages, so this page block that we did in the beginning, to the inner part of the spine, so that we can see nothing here anymore. And so yeah, I folded this page, this first page of this original page block, a little bit, and as you can see, then I glued it down so that this this fabric yeah, holds it very nice. And when I folded this, then I recognized that I need something here, because those pages here of course are sewn into this whole text block here, but there was a really big space, and so yeah, the space was not the problem, but it was very dark here, and that looked really strange and not so pretty. So I decided to take this eyelet lace here, and I put it into here, into this slot. So yeah, I think that's not too thick. When I close it, it looks like this, and yeah, it can close very easy, and that's not the problem. And when you open it up, it looks like this. So as I said, I didn't want to use washi tape, because yeah, washi tape sometimes is a little bit yeah, tricky, because when you have this fold here, then it gets really thick when you close it. I don't know why that is the fact, but it can crumble when you close it, especially when it is such a small slot like here. And now I want to add this trick here too, because yeah, the glue is already dry, but this fold here is not like I want it, because it's not so durable, I think, with this one page here. And when I put this eyelet lace into this slot here too, then nothing will happen. It will be the same system as here. It will look nice, I think, and it will yeah, it will hold those two things here together. So this is only the slot between the last signature and this text block, and I think that can work, that we put something in there, because yeah, of course there's enough space to do that. So let me just cut this little thing here off. It's a little bit easier to glue it in. Then I just measure it with my eyes, and I put it on here a little bit, 1 millimeter or something like that, into the page, so that it can't look out there, because I want it in the inside of this whole thing. Try to cut it straight. That's not always so easy. Yeah, I think that's good. It's not too long, so as you can see, it's a little bit shorter than the page, because I don't want to look it outside there. And then I try to get my glue into this slot and a little bit to the sides of the page, because I don't want to glue that eyelet lace completely, so that it yeah, has a little of this ruffle effect that you saw before. So let's try to bring this glue into there. Not so easy. Okay, so I think I will just take my bone folder and put this into the slot, and a little bit to the pages, like this. And the eyelets of this thing will be on this page here, I think. That looks nice, hopefully. So I put a little bit more glue on this page, so that I can make sure that this is really in contact with the glue. Okay, so then let me just clean this thing here. Okay, because I don't want to have glue on the top of this thing. Then I take it and I make sure that I have it in the right direction. Yeah, like this. Then I put it on top here very carefully, and then I press it down from the middle. Upsala, that's a little bit too much. From the middle to the outsides, so that it fits in there very nice. But I think you have to go a little bit more to the left. It's a really tricky thing where you need a little bit of patience. Not my best friend, this patience thing. Okay, that looks not so bad. And the only thing I think that you have to have in mind when you do this is that you don't bring the fabric under the signature. So when you let it stand like this, make sure that the fabric reaches the signature, but that it's not under it. And yeah, I don't know how to explain that, but when you do it by yourself, then you will recognize that that it's possible to bring the fabric too much under the signature, even if it's sewn there. And that's not so good, because yeah, then you will perhaps have the problem that it can't close like this, but that this will fall out there on this, so it will flip out on this place where you have put this lace. And I just put a little bit of glue here on top, so that I have the top and the bottom here onto my page, that it's glued down very nicely. And I have this here that stands a little bit away from the page. Just thinking to do it here also, perhaps a little bit more, so that it looks not too grungy and not too extreme. Okay, so I think I'm happy with this. And I think that's a really cool combination. So of this eyelet lace and this old Bible pages, I think that looks really cool. And you wouldn't recognize that something is here in between. And so no space of the spine, I mean. I'm just thinking about if I should do that in between of the other signatures too, but I'm not sure at this moment, at this point. I don't know. I will let this dry completely, and then I will look how this can come out, and if I will do it or not. And yeah, then I'm thinking if I leave this here like it is, yes, I think, because I want to see this there on the back. And here I have a little problem that I have to fix, as you can see, oh, hopefully without those strings here. This red thread, didn't stay intact, so that these things here come out, but I will search for a way to fix that. And yeah, in the next video that I will show you, I will do a little flip through of this finished Bible, and yeah, then you can see the whole thing. I am also planning to do some mini embellishments. I got those beautiful stamps here with this music paper sheets Happy Mail this morning, and I think that can be a cool thing to make some tags or something like that. And yeah, when I have finished that, you will see a full flip through on my channel of this whole little Bible journal. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this process, and hopefully you are not you didn't went crazy, because that was really yeah, sometimes overwhelming thing. And hopefully you enjoyed, yeah, even if I had some troubles here with this thing. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for being here with me. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and if you would like to see more stuff about junk journaling, mixed media and that stuff, then yeah, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell that you get informed when I upload a new video, and hopefully we will see soon. So bye bye, have a great time.